Voices here, voices in your head. Sausage and drip from and make it all, make your own.
So I wanted to talk about drugs for a little bit because depending on who you are, where you were raised, how your biological makeup is, you have your own specific opinion on drugs. But I just had the thought to me while I was driving home today, and I thought about like all the successful people in the world. Most of them, at least, most of them have a story. Most artists, most like business owners, they all have either suffered from drug abuse, drug dependence, or they had a mind expanding psychedelic experience. And you know, even though psychedelics are looked at as higher than normal drugs, even people that suffered from drug abuse, they still gain a certain type of benefit from it. And you know, it really does depend on the person, because we all know somebody in our life that drugs has literally ruined. You saw their potential and then they let that drug take over their life, and now they're just whatever, doing whatever, being a bum, you know, just letting the drugs control them. But then there's that certain person that has lived through that hell of drug abuse, lived through that hell of letting a substance control everything in their life. And they use that experience to transform like Pluto, like, you know, death and rebirth, like a phoenix. They have felt what it was like to be living in ash, just ash, nothing. And they were reborn from that experience, and even stronger. So don't look at somebody that is like suffering from drug abuse as a complete loser, because that person is probably way stronger than you. All right, let me switch tones here. Let's take a look at the difference between drug maybe dependence opposed from drug addict. Like loser, fucking, you know, the typical drug addict, you know, just stealing from people, you know, not working, not, you know, growing their spiritual well-being. There's a difference. There really is a difference, because most higher beings that are here suffer from depression, you know, because they realize that this reality that we live in, it's hard to cope here. It's a prison planet, as I like to say. So certain people need certain substance just to make it through the day. And like, even just take weed, for example. Some people, they like to smoke weed. And like, if they are living their life and like being successful on weed, they shouldn't be looked down upon because they do it every day. Whatever it takes to make it through the day, just fucking do it, and don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel guilty about it. The only time you should feel guilty about it is if it is stunting your growth. If you aren't progressing higher up the mountain, I'm a Capricorn, so I'm going to use Capricorn references. If you aren't climbing up the mountain on that drug, if it's keeping you back and like bringing you back down the mountain, then that's drug addiction and you're a drug addict. If you are using a substance responsibly and it is bringing you higher and you aren't fucking everybody's life up in the process, then you are just using the tools of this matrix to your advantage. And don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel guilty about it. If you aren't fucking up your life, do whatever you gotta do to make it through, boo.
The system is not for humanity benefit.